In this video, we are breaking down the top 10 American football games on Roblox. Now, this is my personal list, so it's a little bit biased, but let's get to it, starting at number 10 with Football Noobs. Now, Football Noobs is kind of a parody game, but it is a very simple pick up and play version of Football Fusion. You got red versus blue. The downs are randomized. It's really meant to be somewhat chaotic, but it's really fun to just hop into. The gameplay is clean. While it does break, it is overall pretty consistent. The customization is good. The mechanics are solid. I like the feel of the game. The look of the game is nice and simple, but it's at 10 on the list due to its limitations. Like I said, it is very simple, so it can't really be much higher than this. Now, at number 9, we have Red Zone Football. It is a decently put together row football game. The game itself looks alright. Every tackle feels powerful. I think the gameplay is okay, but the reason it's not higher on this list is because it's very simple. I don't think Red Zone Football stands out in a way or does something better than games higher on this list, but overall, it is a solid way to pass time. If you just want a change from some of the better games or you want to try it out, it can be a fun time. But until it really upgrades or does the thing on its own that's special, it's going to remain at 9 on the list. Coming in at number 8, probably my first controversial pick on this list, is Super NFL Tycoon. Now, as far as football gameplay is concerned, there is none of that, so if you're looking for football gameplay, you're not going to like this game, but it is a NFL football game, and the amount of depth and things to do in this game is actually through the roof. You build an entire training facility, parking lot, stadium. You can fly around in a jet. There's different cars. Now, the mini games are completely abysmal. I will agree. Like, if you're looking for actual gameplay, don't play this game. But if you're looking for a football-themed experience, there's just so much to do, so much to buy and build, and it's a fun experience going around seeing everything they put into the game. At number 7, we have Football Legends. Now, this was made by Roblox Basketball Legends, so the game, I just feel like it doesn't necessarily have its own identity, but it pulls off a row football game at a decent level. I like the auto aim. I think the feel of the game is all right. I like the stadium look to it and the controls. There's okay customization, but you can't actually pick your name and jersey number. Overall, I think it has that red zone football problem. There's not really a key identifier or something different the game does. Well, it's playable and all right. I don't really think it gives you a reason to pick that game over row football games that are higher on this list. And for that reason, it's at 7. But at number 6, we have a game with its own identity, Arena Football. And while it has that standard row football gameplay, it is different in the sense that it has a smaller field. There's also these backboards in the end zone where the football can bounce off of, which is a fun game mechanic. The game is unique. Like, it has its own identity. It's based off Arena Football, and it's just going to have a different community, a different vibe than your Fusion or UF. I don't like the game enough. It has decent customizations, celebrations, its own theme to it. The game is a fun spin on the row football genre and definitely worth a play. At number 5, we have Gridiron Football 2.0. Now, as far as menus, customization, teams, stadiums, this game is one of the top ones on this list. But one thing I don't like is you have to spend about 2 hours in the gym to get to a 99 overall so you can actually compete at the highest level. I just find that to be a time-consuming barrier. I don't really see the point of it. I don't really think it adds to the football gameplay. I think it's more to farm playtime. As far as actual gameplay is concerned, it's nice because it does its own thing. You have play calls and AI offensive and defensive linemen, so it gives it like a full football field and 11-on-11 vibe that you're not going to see in many other row football games. The reason it's not higher on this list is I think the actual mechanics are just kind of clunky. I don't like the passing. I think the juking is a little awkward. I feel the need to use auto aim, which I don't necessarily like. Also, it's such an advantage being a 99 overall, so I think it just hurts new players. It doesn't make the game as fun for them. But if you do get into this game, you can have a decent time, and that's why it's at 5. At number 4, we have Auto 3's Football. Now, I think the map is extremely ugly. I don't like the look of the game, but the core gameplay is actually pretty nice. Now, there is a bit of customization. I don't really see the point to it because you have your avatar and your own drip. Now, the game itself is kind of like an R6 Roblox Park, similar to Fusion, which is higher on this list. You can do 2v2, 3v3, and run 4s. It's a decent way to pass time with your friends, talk trash to different opponents. There's also a really good amount of in-zone celebrations, but the reason it's lower on this list is this game is pretty simple and repetitive. There's just not a lot to it. I think you can only play it so many times before getting bored, but overall it is a solid experience and a fun break from your regular row football gameplay. Coming in at number 3, we have Football Duels. Now, this game kind of has a park format similar to Auto 3's, but it's all about tosses. Let's say there's 3 different modes in this game. So one is the Moss Elimination Tournament. The ball is tossed up and the last person to not catch is kicked out until there is a champion. There's also another mode where it's a group of people, first to 7 wins. Then you have your regular 1v1 or 2v2s where you just Moss battle someone and realize you are completely trash at the game and get cooked. Like Auto 3's, you have your streaks, you can go crazy trying to flex on people. I think the customization is a bit lacking. I like the overall look of the game and the vibe. It's just such a nice pick up and play aspect where you can really challenge anyone who doesn't play row football to a quick 1v1. Now, this quite possibly will be my most controversial pick, but at number 2, we have Football Fusion 2. I will say I think Football Fusion 2 has the best core gameplay of any row football game, so so if that's all you value, it could easily be one on your list. It's really fun 7-on-7 football with not a lot of bugs or issues, a good amount of teams. It's also a practice mode with a QB and Moss minigame. The reason this game is not one is that it lacks customization, it lacks celebrations, and it truly just lacks updates overall. And while I like the simplicity, I like the core gameplay, I think there should be other modes added to really give depth to this game. There's still yet to be a park mode, which is why people play football duels or auto threes. This game could also use a destroying 1v1 minigame. It really just needs something to make it a complete, well-rounded game. As core, it's really clean gameplay. You can have a lot of fun. You can league it at the highest level. Like I said, it is very well built, but it needs more depth. And before we get to number 1, we have 2 honorable mentions. The first of which is Head Tap. Now, Head Tap did not make the list because the wait times are atrocious. Now, the game mimics a destroying video where everyone waits in the crowd, the people run the ones, and there's hype, but this is Roblox.com, and the developers failed to realize that I don't care about vibing and cheering in Roblox. I want to play the game. So it does a solid job of the destroying gameplay. I like the 1v1 aspect. I wish there was a park mode to it where you could just continually play and play and play instead of waiting around, which makes it a snooze fest. I think if it was just a clean park with just pure gameplay, this game would genuinely be in the top 10 on this list. So that's why it's an honorable mention, and I hope they give it a park setting like auto threes or football duels to make a great game. And it would also be great if this was just added to Football Fusion at a high level. I mean, that would be a great park mode. Our second honorary mention is Field Goal Simulator. Now, as much as I think simulators are obnoxious and boring, this one's a fun way to pass time. You just hold the space bar, you kick it, you kick it, you kick it, you keep upgrading, you kick from farther. If you're really just trying to zone out, be an NPC, and waste time, this is a great way to do it. Finally, the moment you've been waiting for at number 1, we have Ultimate Football. This game is number 1 because it is a complete football game. The customization and celebration levels are through the roof. The amount of teams in stadiums is insane. So you can play regular football in this game and also park mode. I didn't get footage because the waits for the 2v2s are actually kind of insane. So I think they need more 2s in the park. Trust me, when you do get on a park field, the gameplay is decent. You can run 2s, 3s, or 4s, get a streak going with your boys. The core game mode is fun. You can customize your own playbooks, different trails for your football. Well, I said Fusion is slightly better. The core gameplay is top tier in this game. You'll have fun. It is smooth. But I think it gets a little glitchy in the sense that you can jump and dive and truck from 5 yards from the end zone. Nobody's stopping you. You can dot it at 100 power to someone right next to you. So there are just little things there that you can just truly abuse. But if you're looking for that peak row football experience where you got the main gameplay, you got a park mode, you got a lot to do, customization, collectibles, packs to open, this game overall is the best. So that is my top 10 list. Comment down below your thoughts and your top 10. Like and sub and lace up.